Let's go, Mountaineers. Let's go. All right. So I'm going to do a preseason prediction for the 2026 2027 upcoming season for West Virginia's upcoming season schedule in football. So looking at the schedule for this upcoming season, based on what the roster is looking like, I'm pretty optimistic because I think the schedule is a lot easier than what it was a year ago, and also I think West Virginia football usually does a much better job on a rich rod in year two than it does in year one. Now I'm probably being a little bit overly optimistic with my prediction here, but as a West Virginia fan, I can't deny that I am a little bit biased. Um, Still, I think I do see there being a lot of potential here for a lot of wins. So I look at the schedule over here, and I've got the schedule pulled up. First game of the season, Coastal Carolina. I mean, I think that's a win. I just don't think Coastal Carolina is that good right now because they no longer have like the original head coach who really took them to many places. I think his name was Jamie Chadwell. He was a very successful coach that was great there for many years. UT Martin, I think that's another win, followed by Virginia. That one's going to be really, really tough. But I think Virginia's going to take a step back compared to what they were a year ago. So I actually think West Virginia is going to pull that one off. And then Oklahoma State, they're rebuilding right now. I think that's definitely a win. I just don't think Oklahoma State's that good right now. Iowa State, the good news for West Virginia is that Iowa State, they're facing a rebuilding year because they just lost their head coach along with a lot of guys transferring over and graduating. So they no longer have Matt Campbell, and that really helps West Virginia's chances of winning that game on the road. And Rich Rod's teams have always been really good on the road as record-wise. So I think they get the job done over there, which really builds a lot of momentum because if they can win that game, they still remain undefeated. And I think they continue to ride with that momentum into the following game when they host Arizona at home, who is a decent team, but I don't think is that great. Same thing for Cincinnati. I don't think they're that great of a team either. And West Virginia has historically dominated Cincinnati in that overall series between two schools. And then following game, I think West Virginia finally picks up the first loss of the season. They go on the road to play at TCU. I think TCU is a really, really good team, and I just think at some point they're going to start losing some games because they're bringing in a lot of young players, and I just think the young players at some point their lack of experience is going to kick in, and I do see them suffering their first loss at the hands of TCU. The following game, they go on the road to play at Texas Tech. Oh, that one's really, really tough. I think I would lean toward Texas Tech in that game. I know West Virginia has an extra week in between to prepare, but Texas Tech has shown that they're the class of the Big 12, at least for the time being, because of their willingness to spend money on their rosters. And I just think they're going to be a little bit too much. I think maybe next year would be the year when West Virginia get the job done against them. I'm not sure if West Virginia has them on their schedule or not, but if they do, the following year, I think West Virginia has a much better chance of beating them. But this upcoming season, I think I would probably lean towards Tech there. And then the following game, they got Kansas at home. I think after two straight losses, they'll bounce back by beating Kansas. Following game, they got Houston at home. Houston is a good team, but I don't think they're a great team. And they got Houston at home. I'm going with West Virginia there. And then the final game of the season, it's a little bit of a short week. I don't like these type of games when you've got a short week to prepare. They've only got 6 days in between the Houston game and the Utah game. That's never a good sign. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to go with Utah there. So essentially, I have West Virginia finishing 9-3, which is a huge improvement compared to what they did a year ago. I think they only went like 4-8. 9-3 would be an amazing improvement because they're trying to get to eventually being able to contend for Big 12 titles, and it takes one step at a time for them to get there. But if you can go 9-3, you're looking at possibly finishing second or third in the Big 12, which would be really, really amazing in year two for Rich Rod. And hopefully, at a 9-3 record, they don't decline their bowl game and they go on to win it, which is my prediction. I think they finish 9-3, and I think they go on to win their bowl game to finish 10-3, which would really help build the momentum and the boost for a lot of the players. I mean, I have a lot of optimism, but I think I would probably feel more comfortable if Hubbard didn't, if our leading rusher from this year, Dior Hubbard, if he didn't choose to transfer out of West Virginia. But the good news is Rich Rod, he has always been very good at picking running backs. So I'm sure he'll figure out, I'm sure he'll like eventually figure things out at running back. And he always seems to be able to manage to recruit running backs really, really well. And then at quarterback, Scotty Fox already showed what he can do last year. Plus we got the transfer coming in, Michael Hawkins. I'm not sure who's going to be starting, but I trust Rich Rod to figure that out because Scotty Fox showed many signs and potentials of being great. Whether or not Michael Hawkins is better than him, I'm not sure. But I'm sure they'll eventually figure it out who's going to be QB1 and who's going to be QB2, and they'll go with that person. And if it ends up being like a quarterback rotation, I think we're going to see that battle happen throughout the year. But that could also be a good thing because we saw a quarterback battle between Adam Benaric and Pat White back in the day. And those two guys really motivated each other and pushed each other to become better. And then eventually Pat White did end up winning the starting quarterback position. But those two guys pushing each other, I think that really helped each other improve. But that's it, guys. That's my prediction for West Virginia football's 2026-2027 season. Again, I feel like I'm being a little bit biased here, but I can't blame myself. I am a West Virginia fan. And also, I love Rich Rod, so I think he'll eventually get it done over here in West Virginia. So I'm probably being a little bit overly optimistic, but that's just my prediction. Feel free to let me know yours, and feel free to let me know what you agree and disagree on. Thank you for your time.